you would think with the economics of this that everybody wouldn't be trying to do these setups where you have to play through fucking, $3,000 laptops and all this fancy digital gear. You think that everybody would be rolling back. I guess in some ways there are, because there has been like that whole resurgence of just like no bullshit death metal happening and stuff. I think there's definitely like a counterculture in modern metal now happening where people are resisting
because
the other shit.
Like, no offense to, those like symphonic deathcore bands that have been blowing up, but it's just like once like that Will Ramos kid came on the scene, with his insane vocals, but it's just like then every deathcore kid's just like, I gotta sound like a frog, or you know what I mean? I gotta do all this extra bullshit. And then like deathcore, like, because I'm an OG deathcore fan. I've been loving it since the early 2000s, but like it got so stale because it was all just about like the vocalists one-upping themselves on each song, and then the guitars, the riffs, everything just fell to the back line, and then they just upped the symphonic stuff. And so, you had that like, especially like with a band like Psycho Frame, like their new deathcore, and they're just like early 2000s deathcore. They're like, no symphonic bullshit, like no clean singing. It's just like, we're just going back to how they did it back in the day, because it's just that it's that push to like that super clean, super crazy technical, the vocalist having to just kind of stand still because you got to concentrate on all that breathing technique bullshit. That, like, it's tough. Like
it does definitely like bringing up like a Lorna Shore type band. Yeah. Right. Where it's like, it's been interesting to see and really cool to see that they're like getting a lot of attention. I don't know if like your Spotify monthly listeners translate to people that actually like your band or not. Yeah. But it definitely does reflect some level of attention that the band is getting, which I think is interesting.
Everybody has that starter band that hopefully, if they really do want to get involved in like the local metal or hardcore scene, it's like you got to start somewhere. And usually that's something that like, is popping off on YouTube or on anything. And it's like, you see those clips and you see that dude doing crazy vocals and you're like, that's insane. And then hopefully that like snowballs you to like, you go to a show and it's like, you'll check like an opener or something. And it's just like, that's like, there's everybody's like shitting on Sleep Token and that kind of stuff. And I've never listened to that band, but it's just like, hey, if that's how somebody's getting into their scene, I'm never gonna, make fun of you or anything like that, because, especially like, like thinking about like, I never want to be that old man that's just like, these bands suck. It's like, nah, dude, it's just, it's what is happening right now. And it's all,
it's just different,
It's always
the thing that's
different.
Interesting though, that I was just thinking about with like a Lorna Shore, I wonder how, this is me being kind of funny, but I wonder how annoying it is for everyone in that band that isn't the vocalist, because all anybody ever talks about is the vocals in that band.
Like, and that dude probably makes a mint because he's got like a YouTube channel, like he's got his revenue resources. He's a smart dude for doing that stuff. But it's just like, it's like being the bassist for like Interpol or something. And it's like, it's like, I'm in one of the biggest bands in the world right now, but that's also kind of dope too, because then you're just like, if you don't want to have any of that sort of notoriety and more anonymity, that can also help as well. But
it's really interesting that like, it seems like really like his ability as a vocalist is what like pushed them up and gave them so much attention
forever. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for a long time, and then it's just like that guy came on and they're just like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's interesting that like a vocalist in a band like that could help push a band so far up, where like you feel like that would be kind of like a divisive thing, but it like garnered so much interest from people even outside of like, the metal community.
Super weird
because
shit.
It's like
yeah.
which is like, it's interesting to me.
It is,
but cool.
It is very cool.